Mabuhay ka, ituno, kina, atiauno. Okay? Abundant blessings, Seneca Kahona, much respect, Omabahari, and I love you all. Dianihi Bui. So, here I am, like I said I was going to do. Welcome to my church. Welcome here, Maboika. And the reason why I'm doing this because I know that a lot of people go to church, and a lot of people, I don't know, just give me something new to sort of like stream, and sort of like harness those abilities. You know what I'm saying? And not that I want to go to any church and be part of those organizations, because again, um, I feel that in today's day and time, um, the churches are responsible for that whole dogma. They're responsible for uh, um, putting us in that state of mind. Creating all these dogma and all these doctrine, which block our energy from actually connecting to the source and knowing about our archetypes. Because if you listen to a lot of religious people, they don't they don't they don't harness, they don't pay attention to the galactical heavens. They don't pay attention to the signs of the stars, because a lot of them will probably say to you, "Oh, you should make no graven image." But you're not making a graven image. You're not taking a star and building a cemented piece of article and worshiping it. You're not doing that. You are using natural nature and of the effect that it has on events, on our personality and our character, which is spirit, on events and our energy, and even our bodies and our geopolitics, economics. I mean, it deals, it reflects, and it is the navigator for a lot of human experiences. You know what I'm saying? So with this particular podcast, I'm gonna give you biblical sources, right? We're gonna go into the King James Bible, or if you want to go also, I like also to go into the Bible concordance, because I like to go straight into the Aramaic language, and also the Chaldean lexicon. So you're gonna see me reference some of that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I wanted to start off. First of all, hold on a second. Let's do something. Let's keep this church. Hold on a second. See, I got my Bible, got my gold book. Well, let's offer a. Okay, let me read this. I just came right up on this, and this is from the gold book. These are affirmations, just typical affirmations, and we say, "O guardians, who is able to do all things at a twinkling and at the blinks of an eye. Please transform me from the lowly mortal who dwells in self-pity and ignorance to the one of those beings who walk in the way, for they are constantly being subservient to you." Now that's just in a religious mindset, you know what I'm saying? Affirmation. So you're asking, begging, you know, asking, ask you receive, seek, and knock. Actually, you're begging to be part of a mindset, or an energy force like God. You're begging God, this energy force, right? But this is the thing, it's in you already. How can you beg yourself? It's in you already. All you have to do is to align yourself, align those energy center, focus on it. Remember the awareness, put that awareness on the right part of the mind. and harness that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to beg for anything. It's all given to you. You are the creator in a creation, the creation of a creator, which is yourself, which is part of human experience, human experiences through the placenta, through the womb of a mother, and on and on and on and on. You have an umbilical cord. You have an umbilical cord right here that was once attached. So you come from this constant ancestral pattern, this genetic blueprint on the earth. And far as spirit is concerned, when you say God, what are you referring to when you say God? Because God has taken on many different definitions. So we have to be clear as to know exactly what one means. Okay. But we're going to go on to that at a later time. We're going to break down. We're going to break that down, okay, linguistically. But right now, we want to start with the Star Energy Center and how it relates to biblical narrative and where you can find it in the Bible. And but before I go there, let me bring this up, that because of the constellation, remember I told you billionaires, government, even big religious scholars that we don't know who runs the hierarchy in these religious practice, these religious organization, they practice this. They know about the constellation, and I'm going to explain to you why they do it. But this is what they are determining for in the constellation. What's happening now is that Jupiter and Saturn are going to meet, dance with each other, meet at the constellation of Aquarius. So the planets and the relationship to the constellation is what have magnetic poles. It affects event magnetic poles, event personalities of humanity. All of this is connected and related, and we'll go deeply into it. But let me give you what they are, what they're, what the astronomers are saying are about to happen in December the 21st. And they're saying December the 21st of 2020, and actually they lined it up with the Maya calendar. Actually, it is 2012 according to the Ethiopian calendar. This is the year 2012 because we had some of these leap years, right? And some of these changes in our constellation and time warps. It took 8 years out of us. So this is actually 2012 according to these astronomers, according to these physicists. Okay. Now they show that December 21st, Jupiter and Saturn meet at Aquarius. This transit shows us where we're going next after the reconstruction and the expansion we'll encounter through 2020s, which is Saturn Pluto conjunction and Jupiter and Pluto conjunction. Wow, so this has already been happening. It's just now we're going to see more. It's going to lead up to these big events, so we're going to see much more. Now, the Great Conjunction offers us a way forward, a concrete path, and that's according to the astronomer Lang, that what's happening is a reset of the constellation, the reset. So billionaires, government, and the world of globalization, the world economic forum, the world archy, which is all the billionaires of the world get together and they form these Bilderberg, and they form all the trilateral conference. They form and they discuss a lot of things. A lot of times they don't know what they discuss. A lot of time, a lot of stuff get leaked out. And what's happening is that there's a reset. So they're resetting. There's a currency reset. There's a galactical reset. There's a technological reset. So we're seeing a big, massive change happening globally, worldwide, in humanity. And this is all being ushered in and all being evaluated according to how these constellations are reacting and how their conjunction, how they're positioning themselves. So what do all this mean? Well, that means we'll begin to map our way forward in business. And this is what the billionaires are saying. These are what the astronomers are telling the business man to do. It's to map out your business, finance, religion, and government for the remaining 9 years of the decade. So this is a mapping out a new inventions, new techniques, new planning system, a new system coming in. So they're mapping. This is the time for them to map it out. That's what this whole COVID-19 is all about. This transit suggests a new beginning for us all and a turning point in our history. I said, you see a lot of these events happening now in 2012. A lot of events are happening because this is marking a new beginning. Even geopolitical, new beginning. Economically, new beginning. New things are starting to usher in. It shows us the best way forward is to bring it shows us the best way forward is to bring our unique and individual ideas together in community spaces. So you're going to see a lot of community flourishing or getting together and mapping out what is it, how we're going to go forward in the future. Building teams and coalitions to create change. So there's a lot of changes happening. Like you got Black Lives Matter. This is how they saying how all of these organizations are starting to spring up to create changes in our environment, in our politics, in humanity. And all of this is because they already knew ahead of time, observing how how Jupiter and Saturn and how it's positioning itself, the two biggest planets, far planets, are positioning themselves and creating this conjunction. And so this is how they're seeing things manifest in front of them. Okay? It is liberating, it's liberating influence that starts with your questioning. It's liberating influence starts with your questioning your beliefs and your thought pattern. And this is what astrologer says. But astronomers just view these planets like that. But the astrologers, what they do is they what astrologers do is they they translate what are these occurrences and these conjunctions and how does it translate to human experiences. So that's what astrologers do, into individuals or into a collective body as a humanity. So December the 21st is going to mark a lot. And I suggest people really look into, um, certain in technology industry, as to get up on it because things are going to change. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to talk about that at another podcast. Now, um, when I got that out the way, and now let's segue into how all of this, how biblically all of this happened and has been accounted or has been put into our biblical narrative. So let's go on. I like to bring up about the Star Energy Center, right? So we're gonna go to I got the Blue Letter Bible on my iPad, right? And if you can, first one we're gonna go to Psalms 84. Now Psalms 84:11 says what? First, let me read it in Hebrew, and then we'll go into the English. In Hebrew, it says, Yehovah Elohim Shemesh Megan. Yehovah Nathan Shan Kabud To Manahalak Tamim. Okay. For the Yahuwah, right? of the Elohim is a sun. Read it. In English, it will be like, for the Lord God is a sun and shield. It's not saying it's like the likeness. It's saying it's a sun and a shield. The Lord will give grace and glory. No good thing will be withheld from them that walk uprightly. So again, this star energy, this sun that we see that powers the earth, is a shield also, what they call the corona. It has a shield, and it's a shield, it's a protector, according to the biblical narrative. So here it is, letting you know the relationship between that sun and those that walk uprightly, those that walk correct. Know that your life, Yahuwah, who means to breathe life into, the Elohim is sun and the shield. That breath of life comes from who? The sun, the oxygen, right? The hydrogen, the nitrogen, all these elements is what makes up this breath that we take in from the sun. So we have to look at, read for comprehension, and get away from the dogma, or else you will not make the connection to your source. And you will not eat the electric foods you need to eat to power your body. You will not get enough of that sun to power your body. Okay? And understand the corona, the halo, and how that reacts to your body. So that's just, again, Psalms 84, verse 11, both 11 and 12. For the Lord blesses the man that trusts in thee. Okay, so let's say that. Okay, another situation that we read is about how stars influence us would be in Matthew. Let me look from New Testament. We go to Matthew 2, and we're going to read verse 2, 7, and 10. So let's go to 1. Let's read it from the actual beginning. Now, when Jesus was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem. Now check this out, saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east and are come to worship him. You hear that? Do you read for comprehension? Is the star, the constellation, the stars, is they use, these wise men were magi's of different schools of thought in the East, came together and seen an event, a transformation or a conjunction of stars. And one particular star started to shine very bright. And they were to follow that, navigate to lead them to this character they call Jesus in the Bible. Again, you see that? The connection? When you read 7, again, it confirms that when Herod, when he was privately called the wise men, inquire of them diligently what time the star appeared. He wanted to know, what time did this star appear? How did, what's the constellation? What's the trajectory? What's the conjunction? He wants to know because, like I said, ancient civilization and also hierarchy, they follow the star chart. So there's no exception to Jesus. There's no exception to this biblical narrative. This is what they do. And when you read 10, they say, when they saw the star, when they saw that star, they rejoiced with exceedingly great joy. Now, this is in Matthew 2, verse 10. When they saw that star, they rejoiced. They seen that constellation and they rejoiced because it was a beginning of a new time coming in. Understand? Again, let's look at Revelations 22, 22 and 16. And it says that Jesus have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. He says, I am the root and the offspring of David. That's the earth energy center, the ancestral root pattern, the genetic blueprint, offspring through David, and the bright and morning star. That star energy, bright and morning star. Well, let's see what the Hebrew says about this morning, because we got to be careful about this stuff too. Well, yeah, it is represents definition relating to dawn, right? To the dawn. Okay, excuse me. And so, yeah, it's an adjective, and it means morning, the dawn. You know what I'm saying? The morning, the dawn, the arising. What rise that morning star? What star rises in the morning? The sun. So that's why he was called the sun. He's the sun. You know what I'm saying? So the reference there is also astrology in the energy center, the star center, because he knew this is an ancient practice. These energy centers are ancient practice and is embedded in the biblical narrative. And they know that to harness this power, we're stardust. The sun, stardust, those constellations has an effect on our archetype. That has an effect on our personality and character, which is our spirit. So they also had an effect on the so-called in the biblical narrative, the Jesus. You know, you can go on and on and on. We can go into let's see, 1 Corinthians. I'm gonna have to cut this short because you got 1 Corinthians 15, 41. Wow. Okay, 15, 41. Okay. There is one glory of the sun, S-U-N, and another glory of the moon, and another glory of the star, and one star different from another star in glory. So it's giving you that in this biblical narrative, 1 Corinthians, it's stating to you that there's the glory of the sun, glory of the stars. You know what I'm saying? That different one star from the other. So it's letting you know that these constellations are out there. And it talks about also how it is sown a natural body and is raised a spiritual body. There's a natural body and there's a spiritual body. So it's talking about the dichotomy of your natural body, and what you call your spiritual body will be your personality and characters. You know what I'm saying? That consciousness, that awareness, you know? And so, you know, there's celestial bodies, there's body terrestrials. The glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another. So everything, you know, it's again, biblical narrative lets you know exactly how this star energy is embedded in the biblical narrative. But like I tell you, a lot of religious practices, what they did is take out the spirituality. They fragment it so they don't give you, they mislead you and not give you the proper information of how does your energy body relates to all this biblical narrative. They're not giving it to you. They're not letting you know. I speak to a lot of Christian people, and it's like that this conversation can't go on. Hold on 1 second. So, you know, let's look at Malachi 4, and that's in the end of the New Testament, right? No, Malachi, it's the end of the Old Testament. Malachi 4, verse 2. But unto you that fear, or unto you, remember the word fear. Well, I'll just read it as it is, but the fear is having actually reverence. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son, S-U-N, of righteousness arise with healing in his wings. And ye should go forth and grow up as calves in the stall. Again, as you have reverence for the name, okay, when you have reverence for the energy, the name or the word, which is the frequency, shall this Son of righteousness, this star energy, arise with healing in his wings, healing your karmic wounds, helping you knowing your archetype and your symbols, and connecting you to the source, which is the sun. Because when you're connected to the source, how does it heal you? Well, you sun gaze at a certain time. You take in that sun and you eat sun food that have been grown by the sun, vegetables and fruits. Saying sun foods that has been powered by the sun will give you electrical foods. And later on, we can go to a list of that at another podcast, a list of that. Sabi had laid out a nice list, and also you go on the internet and you look up sun food. That'll give you a good idea of what type of foods are out there that are energized by the sun. So again, healing your body with this sun force. And all of this is, they don't teach you this in a lot of these religious organizations. They might have bits and pieces, but they don't go deeply into this. They don't make the connection. That's because, again, there's a religious organization that deals with dogma and doctrine, which are principles that are set forth, and is either this or that. You know what I'm saying? It's dogma. You either believe this way, that the Son, the Holy Ghost, and the Spirit, you believe in a certain way in its doctrine, and that's it. That's dogma. That blocks your star, because you're a star person. You're star dust. That star energy, the electricity. So that blocks you. It blocks you. It puts you in unfavorable situations when it comes to diet, when it comes to many, many, many things. So I'm not saying they throw away religion. I'm saying revamp that shit. Revamp that. Sorry for saying shit, podcasts like this. This is my church. So I get to do what I want to do, right? Say what I want to say. But keeping it real, is implement these things into your religious organization. Let them know, hey, listen, how does what do you have to heal without just saying, oh, you just got to pray to the Lord and believe in Jesus Christ and you're going to be healed? No, you got to do the work. You actually got to put in work. Faith without work is in vain, right? You got to put in work. And so what do you got to do? You got to really have that discussion with your minister or person that put themselves in front, your pastor, your minister, your priest, whoever, have that discussion and saying, this is a new time. The knowledge that the real Messiah came to bring is taken out of our discussions. It's taken out of our organization. How can we put this spiritual practice, how can we put natural nature back into the spirituality and the spirituality back into the religion and make it as one? Because some people need religion, and I don't fault that. Some people need to be bounded. Some people need to be reminded about certain principles. That's fine. But when those principles are not incoherent, if those principles are not together and joined with spirituality, which is building your character, your personality with certain skills and techniques, and then reaching to natural nature using all of that, then something is terribly wrong. Terribly wrong. By just getting out here and praying and saying all this, I'm a who God, the Lord, and I ain't gonna do it. Snacker, you ain't doing nothing. But now let's have a discussion about what right foods to eat. Let's talk about that sun and how beneficial it is to our very existence. Like it says in the Bible, it says it. That sun existence so important to humanity. It was so important to the character you call Jesus Christ or Jesus, son of Mary. Very important. You know, you got to put it back. Anyway, I got to cut it short, man. I got an emergency over here. My granddaughter is over here having a fit. You know, I think I'm spoiling her. I'm sorry about that. She's having a fit. Nobody else can handle her but her Baba, her grandfather. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do is handle that little thing there. You know, but anyway, you know, I'm gonna cut it short, but I'm gonna try to do this every Sunday. And again, you know, I don't pray. I don't pray on anybody, anything, and I don't ask. I demand. You know, I connect with the source and let my reality see that everyone is having abundant of blessings. I'm seeing that everyone that we are going to get over this dogma and this prince and these doctrine that's blocking our star. I'm connecting to the source and I'm seeing that we are all going to connect and we're going to move humanity forward. We won already. We have succeeded. Okay. The consciousness has risen. Okay. And no one can take that away from us. That's our greatest gift. That's our greatest gift. Anyway, peace and blessing.